Hello, everyone. What is up? It's Nordic here, back again with another Watch with Nordic live stream. We have a let me scratch my camera real quick, make it clearer. We have a very interesting stream that we're doing here today. We are live streaming the NCAA Frozen Four semifinal between Penn State and Boston University. So we have a pretty damn good matchup here today. PSU is in their first Frozen Four in program history. And as for BU, they're looking to get yet again another title added to their trophy case. It should be a fun one here. It's technically an after hours version of a Watch with Nordic. Again, I know we've done these before, but this game was originally supposed to be around 8:30, and then Denver and Western Michigan went to overtime. And obviously that changed the date of this one, and now these two are playing each other at this point. So we should be getting ready for puck drop here in a couple of minutes for this one. But here's what's interesting. We got stats about Penn State versus BU this time around from Penn State. So I'll be reading off some of these throughout the day. Now, what's interesting is that Penn State and BU, at least in recent history, have never played each other in terms of a game. Obviously, they are in two different conferences. I know Penn State sometimes goes over and plays different teams in other conferences, but they did not end up playing Boston University this year. So it's going to be a whole new uncharted kind of territory with this team. So I'm very intrigued to see what is going to happen here, but it should be a very fun game. We got good players on both sides, and we're going to go through each of them, more specifically the NHL prospects. So let's start out with Penn State because they have less of them. You have Reese Laubach, who is a prospect of the San Jose Sharks. This year has 34 games played, 15 goals, 15 assists, 30 points with Penn State. You also have Aiden Fink, who has been a very talented player throughout his time with PSU. You also have Arseny Sergeyev, who is the goaltender for Penn State here tonight. What you're going to notice is that there is a Russian battle between two of these goaltenders. Obviously, you have the goaltender on Penn State and Arseny Sergeyev, but on BU, you have Mikhail Yegorov, who is also a prospect of the New Jersey Devils, and this year is 10-5-1 with a 2.04 and a .911. So some very solid numbers there for both players, who don't really get talked about that much, but they're both very solid. And Sergeyev definitely was a big part in why Penn State won the other night in the Frozen in the regional final against UConn. So definitely something that you need to follow there as we keep following this moving forward. But overall, just it's going to be a very fun matchup. Obviously, Boston University has the better guys in terms of on-paper numbers. They have Scott LaChance. I don't know why I like to call him Scott LaChance. They have Shane LaChance, who was a prospect of the Devils, which was originally an Oilers prospect, but got traded to the Devils over the trade deadline. Jack Harvey, who is a prospect of Tampa Bay. Cole Iserman, as you probably know, the prospect of the Islanders, as well as that too, Camille Benerick, who is also an Islanders prospect. Matt Capone is a prospect of the Oilers, and then Ryan Green is also a prospect of the Blackhawks. There's a lot of NHL players on this BU team. You also have Devin Kaplan, who's a prospect of the Flyers. Jack Hughes, not the Hughes you're thinking about, but he's the captain. But he's the prospect for the Kings. And then you also have Cole Hudson, who's a Capitals prospect. Gavin McCarthy, who's a Sabres. Tom Willander, who's a Canucks. And Aiden Celebrini, who's also a Canuck as well. And let's get ready here to get started here from Boston, from Enterprise Center in St. Louis. The winner of this game will play Western Michigan in the national championship on Saturday night from this same arena. Penn State in here for the first time ever. This is uncharted territory for them. Boston University, they've been here before. But it's the Frozen Four semifinals. The winner takes on Western Michigan, and we are underway here. Face-off won by BU and skated back by Cole Hudson. Hudson throws a pass up then through the zone as LeChance will try and take it into the zone, but Penn State intercepts. Coming down the other way, Fink trying to take it down low, gets hit by Hudson, who throws a pass up then for Green. LeChance throws it up through the zone, and we get a whistle here right away for offside against BU. Starting goaltender preview, as I've already mentioned, you got Mikhail Yegorov in net for the Terriers, and you also have Arseny Sergeev, who is in net for the Penn State Nittany Lions. I'm going to have to get used to saying Penn State and Boston and not the Penn State or whatever. Anyways, face-off won by Penn State. They'll take it back in their own end to regroup. Throwing a pass down the other way into the zone is Weisbuch. A shot there on net is denied. Battling that on the right side. Puck goes down into the corner. It's played behind by Willander. In front! And a save there by the BU goaltender. And they'll dump it down the other way. Again, you're going to have to give me some time to get used to these players' names. Here they come down the other way. Harvey circles back around, looks for options. Pass in front! And a save by Sergeev. Penn State moving it down the other way now. It's Corrado who dumps it into the zone. Poke around behind the net. It's picked up by Sasha Boumediene. We'll see if I'm saying that right later on, but we'll find out. I should have kept the pronunciation thing. Anyways, BU waiting with the puck behind their own zone. Trying to break it out down the other way. Picked up then by Dowiak, who takes it in. Stolen back by Penn State. Dumped back into the zone by Amon. And picked up down low. And both teams are struggling to take control. Here's a rush the other way. It's Yzerman. Yzerman through his feet and skates it back around in the corner. Loses control. And PSU will steal that right back and regroup. Taken around then behind the net as they'll wait for it. It's picked up over by Fink, who will move it through the zone. Broken up again then by BU. It's Aiden Celebrini who has control of that puck. Trying to play it down the other way now. Down low then, Fink. Back over for Labak. Up to the point. A shot, and it slides just wide of Yegorov. Battling now then in the corner. And it'll go all the way back and into the PSU zone. It'll be an icing against Boston. I do apologize if I seem like I'm struggling here a little bit with the names and numbers. Again, this is our first ever college stream. So it's a whole new uncharted territory for me. I'm not usually doing streams like this. So it's going to be very interesting to see, first off, how this performs. And as well as that, too, how I actually do it, the commentary. So we'll find out here tonight. Penn State up at the point. They'll throw it around behind the net. Picked up then by BU. LeChance throws it back to Hudson. It's blocked off there. And here he comes the other way, down the right side, being tied up then by DeMarsico. Back and picked up by Jimmy Dowd. Dowd moves it into the zone. It's blocked off then. And back to LeChance. He'll clear it into the zone and get a line change. Going in there, though, is Green. He makes a hit on Amon, and BU tries to get control. Battling up now against the board. You see some Nittany Lions in the crowd. Down low behind the net. And puck in front, and it shoots wide there off of a chance from, I believe that was Jack Hughes. And again, not the Hughes that you're thinking of. Pass back then for Harvey. Through the zone, intercepted. Penn State's got it. In the zone, Dowiak down low in front. And that one is denied there. Peters will battle for it. And it's picked up by BU and intercepted down the other way. Dumped all the way down and into the Penn State zone. BU will chip it now into the corner. Trying to fight for it there is Harvey. And Penn State will pick that up now the other way. Peters chips it into the zone. Yegeroff will go out of his net to play it. Thrown around then. Picked up again by Boston. Bukanakis down the right side. Shoots it. Save. And the net gets moved. And they'll blow the whistle as a result. So some chances for both sides now, as the ice seems to be opening up a little bit at the very least. I was wondering, because there was a lot of like back and forth net battle action. Nothing too insane. So that's good at the very least. Face-off coming here now yet again. Shots are 3-1 in favor of Penn State. I guess I should write that down. So PSU comes out here with an early lead. Face-off won by them. And they can't keep it in the zone. It gets dumped all the way back down the other way. Picked up by McCarthy down low, back to Hudson, who slides it out in front. BU trying to rush it now the other way. It's poked to the front, and Penn State immediately dumps it down the other way, and it will be an icing. 15:23 here left in the first period. Let's go over some stats here while we're at it. Both these teams have had some, definitely their struggles for sure, but overall they've both had pretty good records. They stand at almost identical. PSU 22-13-4 this season, as opposed to BU, who is 23-13-2. So it's almost exactly identical numbers. And you look at the other numbers too, they're almost the same in basically everything in terms of, first period goals, second period goals, shots per game, penalties per game. It's all pretty similar to each other. These teams are a lot alike. Here's Hudson into the zone, shoots it, and it goes wide of the net. Picked up down low then, trying to move it. It's intercepted by PSU. Fink passes it up then and over into the zone. He's in! He shoots it wide! Oh, a big chance there for Fink, and he missed the net. And that's your number one guy you got to watch out for there if you're BU. If there's anybody on this team that you should be worried about, it's Fink. He has been running away with this team in terms of scoring. 53 points this year. It leads the team in goals, assists, and points. He's been unreal in this tournament and throughout the entire year. There's a shot from BU. It goes wide. Picked up now down low as Penn State tries to move the puck. BU in front. And Green couldn't get a shot off there, and it's taken down the other way by Corrado. Penn State into the zone. Corrado shoots it just wide. Stolen back then by Green, who will chip it down the other way. Picked back up by Penn State. They try and move it into the zone. Intercepted by BU. Hudson stolen back, and Penn State will control it again, and Weisbuck will move it down the other way. Into the zone. Drop pass back. Too many passes in front, and BU will clear that one down the other way. No icing, however. And both teams will get a line change. On the other end for BU, Quinn Hudson's been really running away with everything here in terms of stats. 50 points, and as well as that, too, also leads in assists with 32. So he's an undrafted player. I expect for him to get some calls. A shot from the point, and it's blocked in front. BU picks it up. They'll move it into the zone. Shoots it, and a save there by Sergeev. Battling on the right side. PSU tries clearing it out of their own zone. It's Peters who gets knocked off there and moving it into the zone. A shot and a glove save by Sergeev on Jack Hughes. 13-16 left here in the first period. The score is still 0-0 from Enterprise Center. They're showing off the 3-on-2 that Penn State had down the other way. And a really nice drop pass in front from Laubach over to Fink. And Fink missed the net. He could not finish it. Looks like he didn't have, clear control of that puck either. So obviously that doesn't help when you're looking in terms of that. And we'll go to our first commercial. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it. Let's hope for a good stream tonight. Hopefully not a long one because I was not expecting for it to be this late. And, yeah. All right. So, yeah, so far, definitely a back and forth game. Neither team is allowing a lot of shots. And when this is a Frozen 4 game, there's obviously going to be, it's going to be limited shots. Teams aren't going to give you a lot of chances. There might not be a lot of power plays. I was watching Denver versus Western Michigan, and I'm watching the plays, and there were some calls in overtime that probably could have been and honestly should have been penalties, but the refs don't call them, and that just shows that, when you go to extra time or in a game like this, the refs typically like to sit back unless if, there's blatant calls. So, again, something interesting there that you got to think about if this game does go to extra time. Showing off Mikhail Yegoroff was in the USHO with the Omaha Lancers just a couple of years ago. And he was added to the BU roster January 21st of this year. So he's actually come in and has been very effective for Boston University. As well as that, too, Matthew Karen has also been pretty solid, too. Again, you can probably tell that I don't watch college that often. Again, when the NHL season's going on, I don't typically tune into it. But when the Frozen 4 is going on, I do tune in and watch some of the games. Face off here as Peters falls on the puck. I don't know if I've seen that before, but anyways. Shots are 3-3 apiece through this frame so far. Yegoroff, his last 8 starts, 6-1-1, so he's been proven, especially in the regionals. Again, you look at both these teams. They both played some pretty decent competition. BU played Cornell in the final, who I think was also the team that upset Michigan State. So very intriguing there. 3-on-3 the other way for BU. A drop pass back, and Yzerman can't pick that up. On the right side, it's stolen back then and passed up through the zone by Mack. And Boston University will dump that one back into the zone, and PSU will regroup. Down the right side, it's chipped into the zone by Laubach, and it's sent all the way around to the right side. Picked up, a shot in front, and it's blocked over then by Willander. Thrown back down low behind the net. Laubach, a pass over to Fink. Fink sends it in front, and Yegoroff makes the save, and we get some pushing and shoving from Laubach and Green. As Laubach's getting things started here in terms of the physicality. You expected that, that's for sure, but Face-off coming here again in the Boston University zone. 12:22 here remaining in the first period. Again, the winner of this game will play Western Michigan, who is actually in their first tournament, first national championship appearance in program history, which is very impressive. Kind of like PSU, who was a club team a couple of years ago and recently just moved into the Big Ten, only like 15, 16 years ago, and now they're back in their first Frozen Four. It sometimes takes teams a while to get to there, but PSU got it done. Showing off Sasha, let me see how you say this name. Showing off Sasha Boumdiene. There you go. Face off here, won by PSU. They'll play it back behind their own net. With the puck then, it's Amon who sends it up through the zone. Hudson will try and take it back. Again, both Hudson brothers are on this team, if I'll try and say them both by name. McCarthy then regroups behind his own net. Prospect for the Sabres. He passes it all the way up then for Hudson. Hudson moves it into the zone. Waiting for option. Stolen back by Penn State. Amon trying to get it through, and it's taken back again by BU. Hudson shoots it. Save. Tries throwing it in front. Loses control. Throws it in front again and loses control as well. And BU keeps that into the zone. Filing right back in. Boumdienne. Shot. And a save by Sergeev. So some early chances here as BU starts to rack up the shots. And you gotta watch out for this team. This is a very good team. They have depth all up and down their lineup, guys who you know can score. So definitely something that you need to be on a lookout for if you're BU. As for Penn State, I mean, you got guys all down the lineup who could score as well. It's very intriguing. These are all very deep teams, I would say. And you're going to see all four lines get rolled out here as opposed to Denver, who I think only played like their top two lines a lot in this tournament. Willander picks it up in the zone, sends a pass all the way up, and dumped in by Hughes. Played back then, it's intercepted by Mack, who clears it back the other way. Willander sends it through the zone. Harvey tips it through. PSU intercepts it. Paquette will wait. Drop it back over then for Dowiak. Pass through the zone, intercepted, and dumped down the other way. Halfway through the first period here, score is still 0 apiece. Not a lot of grade A opportunities. Again, when this is a playoff game with this much implication, you're not going to see a lot of chances like we normally do. Puck then behind the net, taken back by Corrado, who chips it into the zone. Down low. Stolen back by BU. They'll move it the other way. Through the zone. A shot! And blocked in front. And Penn State will clear it back out. Waiting on the right side now. It's taken by Willander. Into the zone then for Green. Green takes it behind the net. Looks for options here. Slides it in front. Hudson a shot. Save. Rebound in front. It's loose. And they blow the whistle. The puck was loose, but the refs lost sight of it. And a close call there for Penn State. As BU keeps racking up more chances. We'll go to, I think, commercial here one last time. But it seems like Boston University is starting to set up here. A good chance for Cole Iserman in front. But could not take that puck to the right side. Sergeev had that with a stick. That wasn't coming loose. Anywho. I guess we can do a look in the NHL. Why not? I mean, we are doing college hockey, but we'll take a look in the NHL. Scores around the NHL at this time. The games that have wrapped up. Columbus beat the Sabres 3-2, so I believe they stave off elimination, actually, so they will not be eliminated. The Panthers defeated the Red Wings 4-1, so that kind of just puts the dagger in Detroit's season if it hasn't already been already. Chicago beat the Bruins. It's pretty interesting. In terms of games that are going on right now, the Rangers beat the Islanders 9-2. So the Rangers just absolutely pummeled the Isles there. Predators versus Utah, 1-0 in the second period. Capitals versus Canes, Caps leading 4-3 with about 7 minutes left in the third. Canucks versus Avalanche is tied at 0. Kraken versus Vegas and Ducks versus Kings also just started as the 10 p.m. slates begin in the NHL. In terms of college, again, like this is the only other game that's going on tonight besides the game that was earlier. This game would have been earlier if it weren't for Denver and Western Michigan going to overtime. So something interesting that you got to keep in mind there. I've like a cut on my lip. It's really hard to talk. All right. Face-off coming here again in the PSU zone as Michigan's kind of started to rack up the points in terms of shots on net. Down in the corner. It'll slide out then over for Sobota, but he can't keep it as it's dumped down the other way. Hudson will regroup. He'll circle it around, moving it down the right side, drops it to center ice. A shot! And another save by Sergey. He can't control the puck, but PSU will get it right back. A race down the other way. Into the zone. Paquette will chip it in as he's hit by McCarthy. Thrown around and cleared all the way out of the zone again by Boston U, who seems to have taken, again, as I said, taken control here in this game. Fink trying to take it into the zone. Stolen back then by PSU. And regrouping in the zone then is Boumediene. Boumediene throws it up then through the zone, and Capone almost had a pretty good chance there. Couldn't keep it. Here's a shot in front. And a save again from another Jack Hughes chance, who's racking up the shots here. It feels really weird saying Jack Hughes in that sense. Just very strange, but I guess I'll get used to it. Shots are 8-3. As Boston U runs away with the chances here so far. Picked up behind the net. It's thrown down all the way the other way by Christensen. And it'll be an icing against Penn State once again. 8:39 here left in the first period. Seems like this one's moving slowly along as the game is still tied. Penn State with a record of 15-4-3 since January 3rd. They started off the year 7-9-1. They were ranked outside the top 30 in terms of college teams, and from that point where they won the outdoor game against Notre Dame, things completely turned around. Shot from the point and blocked by PSU from Boumediene. Up at the point, Green shoots it wide. Can't keep that one down low. Here's Hughes behind the net now. Hughes carrying the puck. Trying to shake away Dowd. A puck in front. And a save there. Rebound. And it goes back up to the point. BU still has control. It's Willander. Willander a pass over then. Harvey with it. Battling then with a PSU defender. It's taken back then through the zone by Crespo. And taken back out by Penn State. They'll end up having to dump it back in once again. It really does seem like BU is taking over everything. They're running away in terms of shots on net. They have more time in the Penn State zone than Penn State does in the BU zone. Down the other way now into the zone. Shoots it, and it goes wide from a chance there from Page. Third pairing defender on this team, alongside Aiden Celebrini, who is Macklin Celebrini's brother. He's lighting it up in the NHL. Just scored a hat trick last night, actually. Into the zone, then a chance! And a big save there from Yegorov on Amon. In the first PSU shot in a couple minutes there. So some good chances for Boston University. PSU just had a solid chance there as well. Harvey had a huge opportunity, but couldn't finish it. Shot it wide of the net. I think he would have had him too if he had more control of that puck. Face-off coming in the Boston zone. Yeah, first shot in 11 minutes there. Pass up in front, intercepted by Boston. Trying to take it the other way. Quinn Hudson will dump it into the zone. LaChance racing for it. He'll pick up the puck. Still battling for it then. He's being tied up with down low by Mack as Penn State does pick up the puck and clear it the other way. Aiden Celebrini drops it up to Page. LaChance over a shot. And that one goes wide. Picked up then down the right side. Penn State through the zone. Corrado goes down. And BU will intercept it the other way. 3-on-2 for them. Into the zone. Drop back. A shot and a save again by Sergeev from Tom Willander, who is a Canucks prospect. Is a pretty underrated prospect as well. I think it was like the 14th overall pick back in 2022? 23? One of the two. I think it might have been 23. He's been with, I think he came midway through the year to Boston University, so he's been here for a little bit. Face off now, won by Penn State, thrown around the right side. Drop pass back then as it's moved into the zone again by Capone. A shot from Hughes and a save in front. And Penn State will try and clear, but it's kept in. Cole Hudson. Hudson looks for options, is tied up by two Penn State players. Still has the puck, will come out of the zone, however, to see what he can get done. He turns it over. Here they come the other way. Penn State into the zone. A shot blocked in front. And BU gains control once again. Hudson drops it back. McCarthy. Back over then for Hudson. Over up to Rokanix. I'm going to have to look up how to say that name. And Penn State gets control back of it behind their own net. Crespo back up to Amon. Amon dumps it into the zone, and that will be an icing. 5:30 here left in the first. Score is still 0-0. Showing off the Hudson brothers here. Let me look at how to say that name. Rukanikis. Rukanikis. There you go. That's how you say it. Nick Rukanikis. Sasha Boumediene. I don't know why I want to say Boumediene. It's a weird word. Face off, won by Penn State. They'll take it down the other way. Fink will clear it into the zone. It's a race for it now. DeGrave's trying to get to it, but they call it an icing. As we still let time run down here a little bit. Shots are 10-4. Again, Penn State with just one shot in the last 14 minutes. Hasn't been perfect, that's for sure. Face off then, won by Penn State, thrown around the right side. It's chipped out of the zone by DeGraves and controlled back by Boston. Svoboda tries taking the puck. He was a part of the World Junior team when we did our stream back on New Year's Eve of Canada versus U.S. He was on that team, USA. Here they come into the zone. DeMarcico, a shot on net. What a play. And he couldn't get a shot on. Shoots it from behind. Rebound. And that one goes above the net. PSU now has control in the zone. They move it to the front. And they couldn't keep it. It's still up at the point. Mack fires it just down low. Picked up then behind the net as DeMarcico will try and keep it in, but BU will take it out. Page tries passing it up. It's blocked. And we'll give it back over then for Celebrini. Drops it back up through the zone then for Kaplan. Kaplan, a Flyers prospect. Up at the point, Green drops it back to Hudson. Cole Hudson takes it then behind the net, looks for options. Circles back around. He's got two Penn State players on him. Moves it, shoots it, and that one goes above the net. Battling down low then behind the net. LeChance trying to pick it up here. Down to the final 4 minutes of the first period. A shot in front, it's tipped, and goes back into the corner. Penn State will try and break it out. They'll just clear it out of the zone, but BU gets control right away. Penn State's kind of struggling here. Down the other way. Crespo will dump it into the zone. It's a shot on net. And Yegorov will make the save. Shots are 11-5 in this first period. And we'll go to commercial probably one last time before the period's over. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate it. All right. All right, back here in Enterprise Center, the Penn State cheerleaders are at it. Face-off coming here now inside of the BU zone. Penn State's starting to pick it up here a little bit. A couple shots here in the last few minutes. 6-11 in favor of BU, but now they're starting to rack up shots here a little bit. As I think both goalies have looked solid so far. Guy Dagowski is the Penn State coach in his 25th season as a collegiate head coach. So he's been doing this for a very, very, very long time. Face-off coming here now. It's won by Penn State. It's thrown up to the point. On the right side. Back now behind the net. They'll keep it in. Shot down low. Labach in front! And a big save from Yegorov on Fink. As he'll battle for it now behind the net. Stolen back by Boston. Here they come down the other way. Corrado dumps it through the zone. Stolen back. And Penn State will regroup. Labach with control. Moves it into the zone. Puts it through Hudson's legs. And it's stolen back down the other way. LaChance tied up on the right side. Can't get control. They'll battle for it now in the corner. It slides out. BU has it. In front. Oh, Green didn't know where it was. Back up to the point. What a block there. BU still has control. McCarthy falls over, and they send PSU. 2-1 the other way. Fink into the zone. Shoots it. Saved by Yegorov. Oh, my goodness. What a play there by PSU to take advantage of that. They'll move it the other way. Fink drops it into the zone. And DeMarsico couldn't control it. And Hudson will move it into the zone. Cole Hudson shoots it. And it goes wide. Back up at the point. Devin Kaplan. Looking for options. Moves it to the front. Shoots it. And a big save there. I thought that went in for a second. I really thought that went in. I was like, oh my goodness. PSU moving it down the other way. Stolen back then and cleared out of the zone by Benerick. A pass up then. Over a shot. Oh, it's blocked in front from an Yzerman opportunity. A big hit at center ice. As it's chipped down the other way. DeGraves into the zone. Tries throwing it in front. Stolen back there. Back down low then. Kaplan sends it up to Cole Yzerman. Yzerman down the right side. Gets tied up now in the corner. It's taken back by PSU, and they'll get it up and clear it down the other way. Final minute of play here in the first period. It's been some interesting back and forth action. It's actually been a pretty good game so far. Into the zone then with the puck. Hughes sends it around. And Dowd will clear it all the way down the other way. No icing. Hudson battling then with Fink. Stolen back then and tried chipping it out of the zone. It's kept in. Hudson through and through the right side. Sent up then. Over for Harvey. As it's taken behind the net. 30 seconds left. Fink will try and get one last chance. He gets knocked off the puck. Seems like this game's starting to get pretty physical here. BU regrouping in their own zone. Hudson chips it into the zone. And it goes out of play with less than 20 to go. So some good chances here for both sides. PSU with a 2-on-1 the other way. Fink had a really good chance on Yegorov, but it was denied. $19 seconds left here. Shots are 11-7, so Penn State's definitely picked it up over the last couple of minutes. Face-off coming outside of the PSU zone. It's won by Penn State. They'll take it down the other way, rushing forward and battling. Corrado stolen back then over for LeChance. Back then behind the net, Willander sends it forward. 5 seconds left. BU will make one more rush. LeChance into the zone, and the horn blows, and that'll do it for the first period. Shots after the first, 11-7 in favor of Boston University. Some good chances for both sides, but so far, we are at 0 goals apiece through 20 minutes of play. That being said, it's intermission. Thank you all for tuning in. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We'll be back in about 15, 20 minutes for the start of this period. Second period. All right. We'll do our out-of-town scoreboards here with the NHL. Again, the games that have wrapped up. Rangers beat the Islanders. Blue Jackets beat the Sabres. Panthers beat the Wings. Blackhawks beat the Bruins. Utah is up on the Preds. Canes and Caps are tied at 4. That's in overtime right now. Jets are dominating the Stars 4-0. Canucks are beating the Avalanche. Knights are beating the Kraken. And the Kings are beating the Ducks. So some solid matchups here tonight. By the way, we are doing another Watch With Nordic stream tomorrow between the Calgary Flames and the Minnesota Wild. So a very pivotal Western Conference matchup there. And I know some people wanted to see another Hurricanes live stream. Well, fortunately, you are going to get one. So lucky you guys. Why do I feel like really blurry? Okay, that looks better. Like my quality just looks really strange. I'd have to like wipe off my camera. I know that made the thing look really weird. I apologize for that. But we'll be back here for the start of the second here soon. No goals so far. And yeah, let's see what comes next. This has been a pretty solid game, I will say. By the way, I guess we should talk about the previous game. Again, there will be a new Frozen Four champion this year. Obviously, Western Michigan defeated Denver for their first spot in the Frozen Four in program history. So that's pretty cool. Again, it's good to see, new teams getting into it. As much as I like, I do enjoy seeing, Denver go on those runs with David Carl and Zeev Boyum and all those players that are over there. It's nice to see some new teams every now and then. So I definitely like that. It's definitely something I'm a fan of for sure. One, boom. What's up, Miles? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. All right, as we await the continuation of the second. That's good. I don't believe any team will be eliminated tonight, so at least I don't need to make any videos afterwards. That's good in terms of like the TikToks and stuff. Who's gonna win? I'm rooting for Penn State because I'm a local kid. Penn State. I've been to games before. I have a local connection to them. Who do I want them to win, but I have a feeling Boston University is gonna take this one. Unfortunately, but oh well. Oh my gosh. Still in intermission here, guys. We'll get started with the second period momentarily. Thinking a few minutes actually. This is our 4th out of 41 total streams that we've done this year where it is not NHL teams playing. We have done, again, 4 nations. We did a World Juniors, but kind of new uncharted territory, I would say. So, pretty intriguing. And by the way, some of you might be wondering, unfortunately, I will not be streaming the Frozen 4 National Championship Final. I would love to, but unfortunately, I have the Royals, which is the team that I work for, so I cannot. Which stinks, but it is what it is, I guess. What's my favorite what? My favorite play? All right, seconds up next. We'll get ready to hop in here for the start of the second period momentarily. Again, thank you everybody for tuning into this one. I appreciate it. Again, I'm sorry if initially I'm not that great with the numbers. Again, I don't watch a lot of college hockey. I do have the lineup cards up here, so I'm not just completely guessing, but who's my favorite player? Claude Giroux. Just as a Flyers fan, gotta like him. No worries. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, definitely Claude Giroux. Claude Giroux is my guy. Ooh, Washington beat Carolina. No worries. It's a shootout. Nice. All right, here we go. Let's get ready for the start of the second period here. Meow. Recap of the first, no goals. I thought both teams played good at points. BU definitely took over for the start, but as Penn State kind of got adjusted, they definitely played better as the period went along. Again, you do got to kind of keep in mind that this is Penn State's first time in the Frozen Four. So it's definitely going to be an adjustment. It's definitely going to be an atmosphere that these guys are going to have to take in. And yeah, definitely something I wasn't expecting for them to come out of the bat crazy, but they actually look solid. But definitely over the course of the first period, BU was the better team. No question, though, the goaltenders were also a big part in why that game stayed at 0 apiece. So let's get ready here for the start of the second period. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And let's get ready here. Showing off Cole Hudson, who's had some good chances here tonight. And we're off here for the second period. Face-off won by Penn State. They'll move it into the zone. Laubach drops it back, and Boston University steals it right back. They'll come the other way. Into the zone. Here's Quinn Hudson. Stolen back again by PSU. And dumped down the other way. Rushing for it then is Fink. He's got some room. Tries throwing it in front, but it's blocked. And Boston will pick it back up. Here they come the other way. Stolen back. Fink drops a pass up then. Over to Dezayev. Through the zone. A pass over to Corrado. And he can't finish it. PSU here starting off early. Getting chances in the zone. Down the right side. Weisbush. Drops it back then for Corrado. Corrado tries moving it to the front, and he loses the puck in the process. Behind the net then, Weisbush throws it up to the point. Crespo tries throwing it down low, but it's stolen back by BU. And they'll regroup in their own end. McCarthy getting tied up there quickly by Weisbush. Stolen back down low by Penn State. Behind the net, they'll take it. Corrado. Intercepted by BU. Moving it through the zone, then is Harvey, who chips it back down low. Harvey throws it behind the net. Stolen back up and by Demarsko. Taken back by BU into the zone. They shoot it, and a save by Sergey. He doesn't know where the puck is. They score! Oh my goodness. Sergey didn't know where the puck was, and Jack Hughes takes advantage. And Boston leads 1-0. Oh, that's one that Sergey's going to want back. Oh, no. Oh, that's rough. A chance for Capone, who shoots it into the zone. Sergey thought he had the puck, but it turns out it was right in front of him, and Hughes comes in, takes the easiest tip of his life, and he puts that puck into the net for BU, and they lead 1-0. Very unlucky there for Penn State. Very unlucky. Face-off won by Penn State. They'll chip it into the zone. That's Hughes' 7th goal of the year. Prospect for the LA Kings. There was actually a report a couple of weeks ago that LA wasn't going to sign him. We'll see if that does actually come into fruition. Here's Penn State trying to move it down the other way. Lurgis. Pass up through the zone. Paquette shot and a save by Yegorov as it's picked up again by Boston. Down the right side, Cole Iserman into the zone. Drops it in front and it can't be finished by Benarek. Taken back then by Kaplan, who's hit off the puck. Penn State now controls it. They'll move it into the zone. Down the right side, a shot and a glove save from the point. As Yegorov makes the save once again. Shots are 13-8 in favor of Boston as Penn State trying to fight back now after BU's first goal. A rough turnover there from Sergeev. Face-off won by Penn State. They dump it down the other way. They'll regroup in their own end. It's an icing against BU. With 17:30 here left. So a good chance there by Capone, who gets the shot off, and then Sergeev doesn't know where the puck is. And Hughes takes clear advantage of that, just pokes that one right in. I could have did that. Face-off won by BU. They'll drop it back. Hudson will wait behind their own net as they'll look for options here to set up. McCarthy taking it down the right side. Drops a pass up then. It's intercepted back by Penn State. Laubach will dump it into the zone. McCarthy will then take it. Throws a pass up. It's intercepted. Kept in the zone by Penn State. Up at the point then. To the slot. Oh, man, they couldn't keep that puck. As Desayev had it, but couldn't finish. Up at the point. A shot there. Blocked in front as it slides to the right side. Thank you for joining, J-Dub. Welcome. Shots are 13-9. Puck went out of play. I don't know why Google banned your comment. I got a comment held for review, but I didn't get any other comments. All right. Face-off. Won by PSU. Weisbush to the point. A shot! And it goes wide off of a chance from Christensen. Kept in the zone. They try and move it. Intercepted. Pass in front! And Yegorov makes the quick save as we get some pushing and shoving. As this is college hockey, and these kids just, they'll keep on fighting. It says how it works. And I think there's going to be a penalty here. It's going to be a 2-minute penalty for BU and something else. So a penalty coming here, I think. We'll see. They might be looking at it again. I'm not sure. I don't know the rules entirely for college hockey. And there's no penalties, actually. Never mind. Face-off won by Boston. Planted over to the right side. It's picked up then by Hughes. Hughes with the only goal here tonight so far will chip it into the zone behind the net. Hughes gets it now behind the net, battling with Amon. As they'll try and throw it up to the point. Penn State trying to rush. Kept in by BU. Hughes into the zone. Capone can't get a shot off. Harvey now down low gets a big hit there. And Penn State will pick it up and move it down the other way. Fink gets taken down by Kaplan. As BU will regroup in their own end and try and move it the other way. Through the zone. Harvey dekes the defenders. Got some room. Shoots it. And it's a glove save, but still kept in. Penn State will regroup. Dawiek behind his own net. Throws it up then for Amon, who sends it out of the zone, but Boston gets control back again. On the right side then, Celebrini. Feels weird saying that. It also feels weird saying Jack Hughes, so just everything is just so strange. We get a whistle for icing. 14-9 with 15-14 left here in the second. Jack Hughes with the only goal was an unlucky one, but it still is a goal. In terms of second period scoring, both these teams are relatively even. Penn State 47 to BU's 45. Face-off won by Penn State. They'll take it around behind their net. A pass up then for Dowiak, who chips it through the zone. Up then over for Peters. Still kept in. They can't get a shot off. Puck at the point still. Crespo throws it down low, and BU gets control right back, and they'll move it down the other way. Kaplan, a pass up. It's tapped, but still gets past BU and into the zone. Kaplan battling then with Benaric. Up through the point. Pass over, and they couldn't finish that one from Boumediene. A wraparound in front for LeChance does not go through. He'll battle for it now down low. Slides it in front, and Sergey makes the save. BU still has it. Puck is loose in front, and they make the cover. So some chances for Boston once again. They come out with the early running. And some chances for Sergeyev to make some big saves. Obviously, if BU does win this game, they will play Western Michigan in the national championship. That'll be at 7:30 Eastern time. Or maybe Central time. I'm not sure, actually. No, or Eastern time. In Enterprise Center. Penn State averaging 3.54 goals per game. BU averaging 3.82. So again, as I said at the beginning of the broadcast, like these two teams, in terms of most of the stats on here, they're relatively even. There's no team that's really running away with anything crazy in particular. They have similar shots per game. They have similar shot percentage. They have around the same assists. Around BU definitely has a little bit more penalties. They seem more undisciplined. They like to start things. It's shown. So definitely that is a factor when you look at Penn State for sure, or BU for sure. And we'll get ready here. 14-19. Talking to Jay Pandolfo, who's been looked at for NHL jobs. We might see him get a job here eventually. No clue, but showing off the Penn State fans who traveled to St. Louis for their team. Obviously got the BU boys there as well. Face-off won by Boston. Boumediene throws it down low behind the net. Dowiak trying to take it. It's thrown back behind. And Penn State will move it the other way. And we get a whistle, and I think something's coming. And a penalty against Boston. And Boumediene's going to go to the box, and we're going to get a Penn State power play. This could prove huge for PSU if they can get something going here. All right, this is huge. This is absolutely insanely pivotal for Penn State to try and tie this one up. It's definitely been not easy for them so far through this period. If they can get something going here on this power play, maybe they can shift things back the other way. First power play of the game, obviously. Face-off won by BU. They're trying to clear it out of the zone, battling for it on the right side. Penn State gets control. Thrown back down low. Corrado with the puck, stolen back, and Hudson clears down the other way for Boston. Picked up behind the net then by Dowd. Dowd will drop it back. Taken into the zone by Fink, who's been on a little bit of a scoring drought. And we get another penalty. And there was a high hit from Hudson on Fink, and I think they might take a look at this. Let's take a look. Ooh. That might be something. Look at the people. That might be a call. And that's Quinn Hudson, right? Or Cole Hudson. That's a big impact player, so let's see what might get called here. I'm not 100% sure. I think it might be a 2. It didn't look. It looked high, but I don't think there was any real head contact. But we'll see. Again, Fink kind of is bending. It is shoulder to shoulder initially. I think maybe because Hudson gets him with the head afterwards. I don't know. We're gonna find out here in a second. They're gonna put their helmets on and review this. But this could be huge for PSU. It could be a 5-on-3. What's up, Rick? All right, let's see what this is going to be. Official review. Yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be at least a 2-minute. They're just looking to see if it is a 5 here, but I guess we'll find out. It definitely didn't look pretty. All right, they came out pretty quickly. I think it's pretty clear this is gonna be a 2. Huh? It's not a 2 at the very least? That's a little strange. I guess that's college rules. They get taken away their timeout. That's a little strange. I've never seen that before, but okay. Interesting. Face-off coming outside of the BU zone. I don't know. I guess it's the way college is. Like, again, I'm just so, like, used to the NHL rules. Corrado into the zone now. Throws it back down low. Crespo battling with the puck. Slid around then. Back up at the point. Dumped down low. Fink. Moves it with control. Passes it up to the point. Dowd. Now they'll set up a shot in front. And it goes wide. Corrado. To Dowd. To Fink. Fink a pass over for Corrado, who loses control, and BU will clear that one down the other way. Sergeev will send a pass up to Fink. What a play there. Puck up in front, down low. As Dzhniev loses his ground. Back then again, taken by PSU. Their second unit gets out there, shown. Throws it in front. Hudson steals and clears all the way down the other way. Through the zone. Dzhniev in. Shoots it. Tipped in front. Oh, they couldn't get it there in time. If he was a couple seconds earlier, maybe that one goes in. Mack throws a pass up. Dzhniev up through the zone. It's open. A shot and blocked in front. A huge chance there for Dowiak. And that will do it for the Penn State power play. Here comes BU the other way. Intercepted. Oh, BU gets it right back. They'll regroup in their own zone. Dropped up through. Page clears it in. And regrouping then is Dowd, who looks for options. Again, Penn State, no shots in that power play. So definitely not ideal at all. If you're going to score, you need shots. That's pretty obvious. Dumped into the zone then by Mack, and a save there from Yegorov. All right. Face off here, won by Boston. Penn State still battling for it, though. It's picked up then over through the zone by Hudson. Quinn Hudson will dump it in. LaChance now with it. Down low behind the net. Gets knocked down from behind by Amon. Puck slides out. Quinn. Still with control. Being battled for it. Takes it to the front. And can't get a shot off as he's tied up way too much. It's still kept into the zone, though, by BU. And Penn State will chip it back out of the zone. Battling on the right side. It's dumped in on Yegorov, but stolen back. Again, PSU just can't seem to get control in the zone from out of time. Here they go. Desnuyev tries getting a shot off. And it's stolen back by Boumediene. Battling from the right side. BU dumps it back into the Penn State end. Down behind the net then with that puck is Capone. Hughes with the puck. Intercepted by Penn State. Fink will drop it back. Played up through the zone. BU intercepts it. Oh my goodness. They just can't seem to get it. Again, unlucky. PSU, they dump it back into the zone. Cole Hudson will regroup. McCarthy throws a pass up then as it's dumped into the zone by Harvey. Back behind the net then is Christensen with halfway mark passed here in this second period and overall in this game. So some chances for both sides, but nothing of the insane amount in this second period. Obviously the goal from Hughes. Back behind the net then, it's taken by Schoen. Stolen back by BU. McCarthy. A pass up through the zone. Picked up then. Up through a shot. And easy save there for Yegorov. Down low then. Kaplan slides a pass up over for Hudson. Cole Hudson, 2-on-1. Into the zone. A pass over in front. They score! On the 2-on-1, I believe that was Cole Iserman as BU takes a 2-0 lead. Cole Iserman, we've seen him score in both World Juniors and now college as well, so that makes for a pretty cool aesthetic. But a good play there from Hudson to deke out PSU. They go down the other way on a 2-on-1. And that's pretty easy there for Hudson in front. Gives it over to Iserman. And that's the easy play there. And Cole Iserman with the goal gives BU a 2-0 lead. BU wins the face-off, dumps it down the other way. Behind the net then. Sergeev trying to pick it up down low. Back over then for Amon. LaChance then. Takes it down the right side. We'll dump it back into the Penn State end. Behind the net, it's picked up by Fascia. Down behind the net then, it's Green the other way. Penn State into the zone. A pass in front. Oh, they can't take that one either. Just every time Penn State gets a chance, BU is right there and not giving them anything. Here's an icing against Boston. Face-off won by Boston. Green will pick up the puck. They'll move it all the way down the other way. That's Yzerman's 24th goal of the year with Boston. He's been running away with this. Back on the right side. Capone picked up, dumped back into the zone. Penn State needs a goal here if they want to make this one close. It's not impossible, but it's not looking great. Fink battling with Page down low. Page will play it around. Penn State will gain control. Desnoyev stolen back by BU and cleared. Oh, man. Behind the net then, Christensen. Drops a pass up then for Amon. Amon, a pass over. Down low then, Laubach tries sending it in front, but it doesn't get there. And taken down the other way. Harvey up then as it's cleared into the zone by Hughes. Racing forward then is Svoboda. Battling down low then with Dowd as well. 7 minutes here to go. A puck in front, a shot saved by Sergeev. And we get a whistle. And we're going to get another penalty, and it's against Penn State, as Jimmy Dowd will go to the box for holding. And Boston will get a 2-minute power play. And this is big right here. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it for this one. BU will go on the power play. Let's see if I have any power play stats. BU, 38 for 134 on the power play this year. That is a .284 power play percentage. So some respectable numbers there by Boston. Definitely better than Penn State is on the power play. PSU's already had 2 here tonight, or 1. I'm pretty sure, actually 1. Correction on that. We'll see what comes here in the second half of this game, but right now it's looking like BU is going to take this one. But again, obviously you look at the game against Denver. Denver did come back, so it's not entirely out of the question for Penn State. Not saying it will happen, but it's not out of the question. All right, Boston University heading to the power play now. So Yzerman with the goal there makes it 2-0, and now they're going to get a power play advantage. Face off, won by Penn State. They come down the other way. A shot! What a save by Yegerov on a 1-on-0 breakaway from a chance from Dowiak. Wow, that came out of nowhere. BU with the puck. They now set up. Hudson. Cole Hudson at that. Shoots it on net. Saved by Sergeev. Picked up by Penn State. They'll clear it all the way down the other way. And that I was not expecting. Back behind the net. Green picks it up. Drops a pass over. He'll move it through center ice. Passes it through the zone. Hudson back to Green. Shoots it. And it goes up the air and into the netting. And halfway through the BU power play already, a good 1-on-0 breakaway chance there for Dowiak, but I think he missed the net. Penn State really needed that. They really needed that. Really unfortunate they couldn't get that. Let's see if they can set up the same play again, though. Probably not. Probably not. Anyways, face off now in the Penn State zone once again. And it's one down low by BU. Stolen back down the other way. Penn State shorthanded. Peters. He's got him with him and a shot there, and that one goes wide. If this is basketball, it's quarter, not period. It is. If it is hockey, it's period. Yes, indeed. Hello, Andrew. What's up? Halfway through the BU power play. 6 minutes left in the second, by the way. Cutter Gauthier, 20 goals in the year. Face off one by BU in their own zone. Willander will drop a pass back for Hughes. Hughes moving it now in the zone. Through the right side. Looks for options. Gets hit. And down low, Fink will rush with that puck. But BU keeps it down low still. Benerick up in front. Hughes drops it down low. Kaplan trying to look for options. Still has it. Stolen down low then by Christensen, who tries throwing it around, but not good enough there. Behind the net then, Corrado tries clearing it out of the zone. He picks it up. He's tripped! Is that going to be a pen? Yes, it will. I was going to say that's not a pen. I'm like, oh, what is that? And Penn State will get into the power play, and Hughes is not happy about that. It's one of those ones that you kind of got to take, to be honest. I mean, if not, he's going on a rush the other way, and yeah, that was very obviously going to be a penalty. So Penn State back to the power play. It'll be, I think, is it 4-on-4 for a little bit, or did the power play expire for BU? I think it might have expired. So let's see what Penn State can get going here. Yeah, 4-on-4 for 14 seconds. And then PSU will get a power play. 2-0 Boston here. Shots are 21-14. Penn State needs a goal, and they need it badly. Face off, won by Penn State. Kept up, down low into the zone. Corrado drops it back. BU intercepts. Here they come the other way. Green through the zone, and Penn State's now on the power play for 1:45. Here they'll rush it the other way. It's a 3-on-3. Through the zone, a pass up, over, and we get a whistle for offsides. So 1:39 here now. Face off outside of the Boston University zone now. It's won by Penn State. They'll try and control the puck, but BU immediately steers it, and Green will clear it down the other way. Behind the net, Dowd with the puck. Taken back then through the zone. And stolen back by BU again and dumped down the other way. Penn State does get control right away. Dowd back to Fink. Fink skates it through the zone. Drops a pass over to Corrado. Corrado up to the point. Dowd over, a shot blocked in front. It's kept in though. Corrado now controls it. Moves it down low. Pass back up to the point. Dowd. Back for Fink. Fink at the point. Circles around. A pass over then. Back to Fink. A shot! And a big save there. BU takes it. It's still kept in the zone, however. A pass up at the point. Does Marsico, intercepted by BU. They'll clear down the other way. And 28 seconds left on the power play. Let's see what Penn State can do now. Coming down the other way, Mack. Over to Disnayev. Through the zone, intercepted. BU trying to take it. Penn State still has it. Down low then, shown. Back to Znaev. Shoots it on net, blocked, and BU will clear it, and that'll put the dagger in that power play. Definitely from some frustration here from Penn State. One shot on that power play. Can't seem to get things set up and get them going. Here's BU the other way. A shot. Big save by Sergeev there on Capone. With 3:09 left here in the second period. BU with a 2-goal lead here through nearly 40 minutes of play. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate it. This has been a pretty fun stream, I would say. Nothing too crazy, just, casual, sit back and relax and commentate some Frozen 4. Definitely the playoff atmosphere is there for sure. And I think Penn State's definitely kind of struggling a little bit. Again, this is their first Frozen 4 ever. So I think you do want to keep that in mind, obviously. But, you're happy with what you're seeing if you're Penn State. I mean, again, you've never been to a Frozen 4 before. You can't expect these guys to go balls out and crazy. Because, again, you look at Boston University, it's a stacked team. You got guys like Quinn Hudson, who's going to get signed by an NHL team. Cole Hudson is there as well. You have a very good, kind of deep top 9 by BU, who can run all 3, maybe even 4 lines. And it's effective. As for Penn State, you got some guys who can move the puck and play solid, but nobody to that talent level as BU does. And that's unfortunate, but it's the truth. And I wish it wasn't the truth as a Penn State fan, but it is. All right, face-off coming now, again in the Penn State end. Shots are 22-15. With a little over 3 minutes left. Will Penn State get a goal? Won by Penn State. They'll take it back behind the net. Mack. Through the zone then. DeGraves sends a pass over for Christensen as it's tipped into the BU end. Yegerov tries to get to it. He can't get the puck. Back behind the net then. DeGraves gets hit. And stolen back by Boston. Cole Hudson. Back to Jack Hughes. Hughes holds at the point. And stolen back down low. Hudson still with control. Here he plays it around. Shoots it on net. Saved by Sergeev. And Penn State will take it back. Waiting. A pass up then for Christensen, who just dumps it into the zone. Yegerov falls down. That was a little awkward. Here comes BU the other way. Willander will dump it down low. Racing forward then is Hudson. Christensen then back up over for Zadayev. Through the zone. Labak a shot and it deflects wide. Labak with room. Throws it up to the point and Penn State can't get there in time. He'll dump it back in. BU gets control. Moving it down the other way. Here's a break. Into the zone. A shot saved by Sergeev. On a big chance from, I think that was Hudson. Yeah, Quinn Hudson. So BU keeps racking up the shots. And as a result, they have a 2-0 lead. Face off now. Won by Boston. Hudson throws it down low then. Green to the point to McCarthy. McCarthy throws it back. It's down in the corner. Around then as Penn State will try and break it out. Picked up then by Peters. Peters through center ice. Penn State moves it in. Throws it in front. Nobody's there. Back up then at the point. A shot blocked in front from a Fascia shot. And BU will take it out. Hudson works it around. Gets it back into the zone. And cleared back in by Penn State. Yegeroff. Back over then for McCarthy. As McCarthy shoots it, it goes out of play with 1:08 left in the first. By the way, the final will be Saturday at 7:30. Whoever wins this one, whether it's BU or Penn State, they will take on Western Michigan, who again is in their first appearance in program history. So face-off coming now at center ice as we approach the final minute of play. And it's won by BU. With the puck in the zone, Willander drops a pass up as it slides all the way back into the Penn State end. Final minute of play now. Pass up for DeMarsico as Corrado tries moving it up, but to no avail. Drop pass through as, again, just Penn State's just really struggling to get into Boston University's zone. You can just tell that BU is like all that much better than them. Harvey chips it down the other way into the zone. Penn State still with it. Drop back. And 30 seconds left. Here they come the other way into the zone. DeMarsico battling for it now. Willander hits him off. It's intercepted as it goes to the right side. And back behind the net. Taken back and dumped out of the zone. 10 seconds left. One last push for BU. Kaplan into the zone. Still has control. Being tied up then by Penn State. And that'll do it for the second period. Recap after that one. Goals from Jack Hughes and Cole Iserman puts BU ahead 2-0 at the end of 40 minutes. Penn State tried to get some shots on 2 or 3 power plays. I don't know the exact amount now. But to no avail, and they head into the third period down 2-0. Let's see what is coming next for this one as Penn State needs to start coming back. That being said, it is the second intermission. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. And we'll be back for the start of the third period. The final frame, barring overtime, very soon. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it. It's a late night one here from Pennsylvania for me. It's about 10:30 their time in St. Louis. Hope you having a good night, brother. Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate that. If you're wondering, let's look at the stats for the third period here. BU has more goals than Penn State in the third, 58-40. We'll see. Do I collect hockey cards? I do. I have a lot of hockey cards, actually. Funny you ask. All right, one more period here of PSU versus BU coming up soon. Again, I do want to say one last time, thank everybody for tuning in. If you are new, please do consider subscribing. Again, watch the whole broadcast first. Not expecting you to go right away and subscribe just because I told you to. Watch the broadcast first, see how you like it. We do these streams usually of the NHL for the most part, but I do try and branch out and do other streams sometimes. So let's just say for example, I've done Four Nations streams. I've done World Junior streams. There's a chance if the playoffs don't align, I'll do World Championship or PWHL or AHL streams, maybe even ECHL if I can figure out a way to do that without buying Flow Hockey. Just, things that we think about. What's my best card? I do have a Vasilevsky card that is like, I can pull it up. Why not? Why not? We're not doing anything important. It's an after hours one. I do have a Vasilevsky card that is like one of like 20. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, SP Authentic, Sergei Bobrovsky, Andrei Vasilevsky. It is one of, where is it at? I know it's on here somewhere. 88 out of 99. So it's a very exclusive card. Again, I don't really like collect that many cards. What about this? I have a Niku one that is like one of, I think it's like 100. Yeah, so, I do collect cards. I haven't organized them in a while. There's a huge stack over here that is going to be a summer project when we get to the summer, so yeah, just something that I tend to do from time to time. All right. We're going to make a clip. Gotta make a clip of the Cole Iserman goal. Upload it to the socials. On the 2-on-1, I believe that was Cole Iserman as BU takes a 2-0 lead. All right, that's done. Well, not yet. It's got to upload. All right, I got about 4 minutes till the third period, guys. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around and staying with us. I appreciate it. So BU has only 2 losses this year after leading after 2 periods of play. So you can take that with what you will, but that doesn't bode very well. All right. Let's get ready for the start of the third, guys. How about it? One more period. Let's get through it and get it done. All right, recap of the second period. Goals came from Cole Iserman and Jack Hughes. I didn't think Penn State played terrible, but again, I think they need to really come out hard here in this third period because, I don't know, it's not looking good, obviously. Perfect. All right. Let's kick off the start of this third period. Nice. That's cool, Miles. And I'll see you later. Good night. Sorry, I was not on the chat. All right, still a commercial break. I did make it to third. And here we go. Definitely an intense game for sure. Some pushing and shoving, some chirping definitely going on out there on the ice. Let's see what comes up here next. All right, third period of the Frozen Four semifinals. The winner of this game will go to the national championship and take on Western Michigan. It looks like BU is definitely in favor of getting that done. However, don't count Penn State out just yet. They're known for making comebacks. It's very common there for them. Yeah, let's get it going. Let's get it going here with the start of this third period. They're reviewing some of the plays, the Iserman and Hughes goals. All right, face-off coming here from center ice. Penn State, do or die period here. From St. Louis, there's gum on the bench. Interesting. And they got different flavors, too. That's cool. All right, anywho. Puck is dropped here at the start of the third period. Face-off won by Penn State. They'll recuperate with the puck here, try and get some offense going. Only 15 shots here through 2 periods. They need offense and an icing against them right away. Great start. And they clearly don't like that. Face-off coming now again in the Penn State end. It's won by PSU. Behind the net, Christensen, intercepted by Boston. Green will clear it back down the other way. Christensen, a pass up in front for Fink. It's stolen back. LaChance will dump it into the zone. And taken back as PSU will regroup. Through the zone, Laubach. Down the right side, will chip it through. He still has control. Throws it in front. Oh, my God. Goodness. DeMarsico couldn't finish. Here's BU the other way. Drop pass back over for Fink. Fink sends it up and goes into the air. Corrado now behind the net. It goes in front. And taken back again by Penn State. DeMarsico slides it up then for Weisbuck. A shot from the point. And a glove save by Yegeroff. Keep showing off Cole Hudson, who has been talked about as a what was I saying? Talked about as a, what am I saying? Talked about as a human highlight reel. I couldn't think of what the other word was. Great assist there on Cole Eisman. He's the second freshman defenseman with 40-plus points. You know who the other one was? Lane Hudson. So these Hudsons, they're going to make a massive mark in the NHL when they get here. That's a certain. And they're two teams that own their rights might be facing off in the playoffs this year, which is kind of weird. Puck slides down into the Penn State zone, no icing. They'll try and move it down the other way. It's tipped by Fascia into the BU end. Battling now down low. Again, Penn State just really... The problem is with them, they're trying to come off the rush a lot of the time, and they can't seem to get a legitimate chance in setting up in the zone and actually getting shots on goal. Their goals come, or their shots, sorry, they come few and far between. And it's hard for you to win a game like that. I mean, again, like, they're not playing terrible, but I need to see some more urgency. Yzerman into the zone, shoots it above the net. Picked up by LaChance, who dumps it right back into the zone. Mack feeds it up over. DeGraves a shot. It's blocked in front. Still in the zone. Over in front, a shot. It goes wide. Back up to the point. Mack a shot. Rebound. It's loose. They score! The first goal in program history. Nick DeGraves. And they cut the lead in half to 1. And they get it done. Oh, man, that's a nice one. The first goal in program history in the Frozen Four. It's the Graves. Getting the rebounds there in front. They finally get some control in the zone. And Nick DeGraves, the first goal in Frozen Four history from Penn State. Puck drops back into the BU zone. This game is suddenly a one-goal game, and it just got a lot interesting. We saw Western Michigan blow a 2-0 lead. This game can go anywhere now. It seemed like BU had all the control, but I guess we'll find out. Penn State with it now. It's dumped back into the zone. Now behind the net. Fink gets hit. Hudson battling for it there as well. Puck slides through. LaChance will get it and clear it all the way down the other way. And an icing against Boston. That's absolutely huge for Penn State. Can't simplify that enough. It's a massive, massive goal from PSU. That puts this game in a completely different scenario than it was. And that being said, 17:01, face-off coming in the BU zone. Shots are 24-18 in favor of BU, but Penn State's coming up there. Face-off, one at the point, a shot. Deflected then back behind the net. LaChance now with the puck. Throws it up through the middle of the zone. Over then for Mack. Mack, a pass up. Down behind the BU net. Willander. Throws it up then. Hughes, 3-on-2 for BU. LaChance over. Hughes! He shoots it wide. Here comes Penn State. Mack down the other way. Will dump it back into the zone. And it's cleared down the other way. Taken back then by Harvey, who's all alone. He gets hit down low. Puck slides back in front. Penn State steals it. 3-on-2. Into the zone. Pass up in front. Amon can't get the shot off. And a save there by Yegorov. All right. Penn State in desperate need of another goal here now. It seems like momentum has definitely changed a little bit here. 24-19 are the shots. It's won by Penn State, but they blow the whistle immediately. I think because of like a face-off violation or something like that. Something along those lines. Who knows? Who knows? Down in the BU zone. Won by Penn State. Shot! Blocked in front. It's kept in. Thrown back down low. Behind the net then. Fink. Stolen back by McCarthy. DeMassacro trying to get the puck as well. Over then as Weisbush also trying to get it too. They put Fink down on the second line. Interesting. And BU does get it out. Svoboda holds it. Drops a pass over them for Amante. Kaplan now. Up to the point. A shot. Glove save. Huge save at that. And Penn State, when they get shots, they need to take them. Face off in the Penn State zone, won by BU. Behind the net, thrown in front. And a missed pass there from Boston. And they'll come all the way out and regroup. Penn State gets control at center ice. They'll dump it off the boards. BU steals it right back and clears down the other way. It'll be an icing. Or, sorry, no icing. My apologies. I don't know why I thought that would be an icing. Puck racing down the other way. Devojmin hit off the puck and knocked down. Amon down the right side. Shoots it into the zone. A big save by Yegorev there. Down low then. Desnayev tries throwing it in front. And it deflects and goes out of the zone. Regrouping then is Penn State. Mack dumps it into the zone. BU gets it. Hudson. Through center ice down the right side. Looks, shoots it. And it goes up in the air and all the way down and into the BU zone once again. Penn State pressuring hard. They got 3 guys going up on that guy. Here's Hudson through the zone, through his legs, but gets knocked down. And he takes a cross check to the face, and that's definitely going to be a penalty. Oh no, too many men. That's not even the call. They're calling too many men on Penn State. And Penn State takes a minor penalty for too many men, and that's a penalty that could have easily been avoided, but okay. Oh yeah, that's brutal. That's not even like excusable either. Yikes. All right, they need to kill this. Maybe get a 1-0 the other way. Maybe that's how you do it. But that was not ideal. Of course the Canucks win when they're knocked out of the playoffs. All right, commercial break. Let's do our out-of-town scoreboards here for the NHL, because I know people who are following this do watch the NHL, obviously. In terms of the games that are going on right now, Utah is tied with Nashville in overtime. The Golden Knights are beating the Kraken 2-1, and the Kings are beating the Ducks 4-1. The games that have wrapped up, Canucks beat the Avalanche, Jets beat the Stars, and Capitals beat the Canes. Ovechkin was the first star again, only had an assist, but it does make sense. Oof, I'm engaged now. Engaged. Yeah, and that was clearly that was clearly too many men too. That wasn't even like really close either. All right, here we go. All right, BU on the power play here. Their second of the game. Again, their power play percentage this season is a record of 2.84. So Penn State's PK, 0.793. Starts off immediately with a dump back into BU zone. Hudson drops it back as Penn State, or as BU moves it into the zone. Iserman shoots it, save there, and cleared all the way down the other way by Penn State. Again, if you're PSU, you don't want to waste much time. Iserman. Hudson drops it back. Iserman will move it into the zone. Back then for Quinn Hudson. Shoots it wide. LaChance then stolen back by Penn State. Oh, they try and take it the other way, but it's shot back into the zone. Dumped all the way out the other way by Amon into the Boston zone. Penn State's pressuring. They're trying to steal this puck away. Hudson throws it up as Penn State intercepts. They'll throw it down the other way. And back into the Boston zone halfway through the power play. Fink intercepts it shorthanded, tries passing it, misses it. That might have been the best thing to happen to him, actually. Puck at the point. A shot by Mack and a glove save by Yegorov. And both teams will get a line change here. 40 minutes left in the power play. Willander drops it back. Back then through the zone. It's tipped by Penn State, but they still have control. It's dumped back in. Mack clears it. And a good job, good kill here by PSU. They're not giving Boston anything. And I mean anything. 20 seconds left. Boston will drop it back. Into the zone then, trying to take it as Harvey. Down wide as Benaric. 8 seconds left. Willander. Over then for Hughes. On the right side, that's it for the penalty. Puck slides up then. Harvey shoots it. That one goes wide. And we're back to 5v5 now. 12 minutes left to go. Penn State needs one. Is the goal in 12 minutes doable? Let's find out. 2-on-2 the other way now for Penn State. Down the right side. Schoen takes it behind the net. Tries throwing it in front. It bounces off the net. And BU. Penn State keeps it in. Oh boy. Into the zone. Loses it. Schoen gets it right back. He's in. Fumbles the puck. Oh my goodness. Here comes Penn State the other way. Mack into the zone. Shoots it wide. Taken back then by DeGraves. A shot. And back up to the point. Mack. Slap shot. Tipped in front. Rebound. It's loose. And Yegorov makes the save. And a quick whistle there. The puck was loose, but Yegorov made the big save as Penn State keeps on pressuring. But a really good penalty kill there from Penn State. They did not give Boston anything on that. And I mean nothing. Boston got one shot, and it wasn't particularly a great shot either. So really good kill there from Penn State. By the way, Penn State 0 power play goals allowed against non-conference opponents. That's in 39 power plays. That's kind of impressive. You would think that like you're playing against a team that, you know, have very good power plays and can't finish it. Shots are 7-2 in favor of PSU through this period. Down the other way into the zone. Here's Green. Green drops it back. Quinn Hudson trying to move it. Loses control. Will just dump it right back in. And LaChance now with it. On the right side. Shoots it. Glove saved by Sergeev. And we'll cover. 10:54. Halfway through the third period. Penn State needs one more to make this one a 2-1 lead. And they're getting Sergeev's skate checked out here, so interesting there. She's probably tying it. Might have been untied. All right. Face-off coming here now in the Penn State end. Won by Penn State now behind the net. Amon drops it back over, intercepted by BU. They'll dump it right back in. It seems like BU's kind of gotten a little bit more defensive-minded. Not a whole lot of shots here in this third period. Maybe that's because Penn State's playing well. Paquette sends it through. Peters gets knocked down, and Boston clears it all the way down the other way once again. Penn State needs a goal. Their frozen four hopes are fading. It's dumped down into the Boston end. Iserman takes it back. Here he comes down the right side, intercepted. It's Fink, and he can't get there in time as Budeman shoots it down the other way. Iserman now with the puck gets hit off of it. Kept in. A shot from Benerick and a save by Sergey once again with 10:08 left. Shots are 28-22. All right. Face off in the Penn State end. Iserman fumbles the puck. Penn State takes it. Pass over then. Dumped into the zone by Dyke. And taken back by the Terriers. Iserman clears it into the zone. Back behind the net then. It's played over by Mack through the zone. Here's Corrado. Takes it then behind the net. Throws it in front. It's deflected. And Hudson picks it back up for Boston. Hudson into the zone. Shoots it. Glove save. All right, we'll go back to commercial break once again. 2-1. With some time here left still. All right, again, guys, thank you, everybody who's tuning in here tonight. We got a good one. All right, here we go. Showing off the Boston University championships back in 2009 when they beat Miami University. Is that the last time that they won? That can't be, right? They won one before that. They've won 5. Guess we'll find out. All right, face-off coming now in the Penn State end. 9:30 left, 29-22 are the shots. Nick DeGraves with the goal for Penn State to put them back by 1. Behind the net now, Mack picks it up. Backhanded out of the zone by PSU. They'll move it through. A pass out in front. And they'll take it in. Christensen dumps it around behind the net. Down low. Fink tries controlling the puck. It's stolen back. A shot in front and a save by Yegorov. Oh, man. You guys can tell as the inner Penn State fan in me, I'm starting to get pretty anxious here. All right. Face off again. 9:08. It's won by Penn State. They'll get it up to the point. BU intercepts. They'll move it the other way. 3-on-2. Hughes over. Harvey, and he misses the pass. Taken back then. A pass up over to DeMarsico, who moves it through center ice. Back over. In front. It goes in the air and wide of the net. Back to Marsico. Oh, man. Stolen back by BU. It's not kept in. Penn State has to come out of the zone. 8:40 here left in the third period. Time is winding down. Boston's taking their sweet time. McCarthy now with it. Back up then for Hudson. Over then for Green. Back to LaChance. LaChance in front to Hudson. Pad save. Fink passes it up and over into the zone. Now they come. A shot saved by Sergeyev. Behind the net now again is Penn State. Fink shoots it. Save. Down low then with the puck. Mack takes it in front. Now skates behind the net. Throws it in front once again. And BU intercepts it and clears. LaChance now racing for it. It's stolen back by Christensen, however. They'll move it down the right side. Shot on net. Save. In front. And another save again by Sergeyev. Up to the point again. Amon. Christensen tipped in front. Rebound. Oh, off the back of the net. Puck is deflected out by Boston. Kaplan now races the other way. He skates it into the zone. Takes his time. And we got a whistle here now. And it's on Kaplan for offsides. Shots are now 26-30. Penn State's getting the pressure on. Whew. The intensity is to another level. 7:30 now left. They're making a push to tie this. Dumped into the zone. Down the right side then. It's played over by PSU at the point. And that one's blocked as BU clears it the other way. Eiserman racing for the puck. He gets tied up there. And a big hit over as PSU will clear that one then behind the net. Amon. Back up and over for Fink. Intercepted by BU into the zone. A shot and a save by Sergeyev. Eiserman now with the puck. Taken back then by Penn State. Wisebush dumps it through the zone. Up then over for Dawiak, who clears it in. Racing for it then. Puck in front. And Penn State was caught in a line change during that opportunity. They'll have to exit the zone. Jack Hughes passes it back over. Through the zone then. Up and over. Up to the Capone, who dekes it through. A shot. A big save there again by Sergeyev, who's keeping BU at bay. And time is winding down as Penn State looks for the tire here to force this one in OT. It's 12:06 here on the East Coast. I didn't even really care. I just want this game to get tied. I want some OT. Come on. Come on. I know you can. I know you can force OT Penn State. Give me some overtime commentary. Face-off coming now in the Penn State end. It's won by Boston. A shot from the point. Deflects wide from Hudson. And here comes Penn State the other way. Through the zone. Dyke dumps it down low. From Lethbridge, Alberta. Throws it up to the point. A shot deflected. And goes into the corner then. Mack. Back with it. It goes all the way up in the air. Taken over then by Willander. As again, BU is still kind of holding them at bay. Penn State struggling to kind of get into the zone. Here's Peter. Shoots it. And it goes wide of the net. Down low then with the puck. Desnayev to the zone. Backhand. And it goes behind the net. Fink throws it up to the point. And BU clears. It'll be an icing against them, however, with 5:45 remaining. They're showing off the regional final against UConn in overtime, where DeMarco got the overtime winner. An excellent drop pass from Corrado, which sent PPL Center blazing. And face-off coming now in the BU zone. The underdogs are looking to get it done. Ironically enough, they're playing dogs. Face-off won by PSU. At the point, a shot! And a save by Yegorov once again. Face-off then won by Penn State. Down low, Marsico. Thrown back up to the point. Penn State forced to take it out of the zone. They'll shoot it back in, however. And regroup around. Hudson drops it back over then. McCarthy clears it into the zone, and that will be another icing. Huge for Penn State there. And let's see what they can get done now. Shots are 30-32. It's been, especially in this third, it's been very even. Very even game, especially so far. All right, here we go. Won by Boston. Chipped down the other way then by the Terriers. Sergeyev comes out of the net to play it. 5 minutes left now. Penn State rushing the other way. Intercepted by Harvey. Harvey for BU. Taken back by Penn State. Laubach laws it into the zone. And Boston now gets control back again. Harvey now with it. Throws it around as BU will take it through the zone. And dumped all the way down the other way. 4:53 left. Hudson throws it in front. A shot, and it goes wide. Picked up by Penn State. Here they come. 2-on-2 the other way. Drop pass back. A shot. Save again as it goes wide as well. Another shot, and it goes above the net. Up at the point. Dowd drops it down low. Back then for Schoen. Still down low. Schoen back with it. Looking for options. Passes it up. Over. Christensen. Save! Oh, my goodness. 4:19 here left in the third. Shots are 31-32. Penn State still trying. Not a lot of time left. Make sure to stick with us here. I'm assuming PSU is going to pull their goalie. Oh, man. Let's see. Oh, man, my anxiety. All right. Just here stewing about what I want to say. I'm assuming Penn State will pull the goalie as soon as they can. Trying to get a puck pass through Yegorov here, who has a .931, so good luck with that. Good luck with that. Again, this is Penn State's first appearance in the Frozen Four. Western Michigan is waiting for them. Whether it's BU or PSU, makes it in. Penn State fighting pretty well here, I got to say. TV timeout here. Cole Hudson talking. Assist tonight, 5 shots, 4 blocks, which is a game high for him. Which is kind of weird. .419. 1 goal, 1 shot, 1 opportunity. That's what it takes. Face off in the BU zone. Won by Penn State at the point. Mack a shot. It goes wide. Kept in, however, by Penn State. Down low. Fink racing for it. Willander throws it behind the net. Budimene tries clearing it out of the zone, and they'll get it out. Here's Benerick the other way. He just backhands it in and gains the blue line, so therefore it's not a icing. Up at the point, Green with the puck. Stolen back by PSU. Pass drop back then for Mack. Mack to Christensen. Christensen gains the red line, passes it up. It's dumped into the zone. BU steals it right back. Desnayev trying to look for an option here to get it into the zone. BU's holding them at bay. Crespo throws a pass up. They're into the zone now. And it's an icing. Oh, that's brutal. You gotta plan on 1-on-0 here. Plan a breakaway. All right. 3:28. And the face-off in the zone is won by Boston. Cheneme up at the point. Just ducks it down low. Christensen now sends it through the zone. Boston keeps it in. Picked up by Penn State. Here they come the other way. It's chipped through the zone by Desnayev. He's got Fink with him as well. He throws it back up to the point. Crespo keeps it in. Slid around. Stolen back by BU. Down the other way. It's dumped into the zone by Hughes. And less than 3 minutes left now in the third. BU looking to punch their ticket to the Frozen Four National Championship. They'll get it out of their own end. LaChance dumps it down low. Shots are 32-31, by the way. Mack. Pass up through. Into the zone then. It's Corrado who throws it back behind the net. He had the overtime winner against UConn. I'm sorry. Marsico had the overtime winner. He had the assist on the overtime winner against UConn in the regionals. Mack throws a pass up. It's back into the zone. Stolen then again by Hughes. BU just winding down time. And they're going. They're pulling the goaltender. Empty net here now for Penn State. Corrado into the zone. Stolen back by BU. Back by Penn State. Into the zone. A shot! And a save by Yegorev. Remember, Penn State cannot call a timeout. Because of that call they tried to get for the 5-minute in the second period, they cannot call a timeout. Shots are 32 apiece. Their season on the line right here. And the marching band for PSU going wild here. An empty net, less than 2 minutes left, 1:52 exactly on the clock. The most pivotal face-off here. And it's won by Penn State. They get it up to the point. Thrown back down low. Corrado stolen back by BU. They backhand it into their own bench. Better than backhanding it into the Penn State net. Anxiety for me is at an all-time high. You guys know, local Pennsylvanian here. Big Penn State fan. So I'm a little bit worried. I try and not be biased, but for college, it's definitely a little bit difficult. Face-off won by PSU. A shot! And another pad save by Yegorov. Whew! 141 now. Remaining here in this one. Face-off, won by Penn State. They get it to the point. A shot, blocked in front. BU's got it. They'll move forward out of the zone. And now they'll regroup here. Penn State taking it back in. Stolen back by BU. They'll slide it all the way around. It goes out of the zone. It's sliding towards the empty net. It'll go just wide. Not good enough, though, for an icing. And 80 seconds left. Fink down the other way. Through the zone here. He's got some room. Pass in front. And back up for Wisebush, who shoots it in front. Puck is loose. It goes back to the corner. Picked up then by BU. It's going the other way. A race to the empty net. And Harvey will tuck it. Jack Harvey makes it 3-1. Boston University on an empty net goal with less than a minute left. And that's the dagger right there for Penn State. With less than a minute left here, shots are 33 apiece. Got to say, a very valiant effort here by Penn State. It's just pretty clear BU is the better team. And some of these guys have absolutely plowed there, and now we're gonna fight. Now we're gonna fight at the end of this. Yeah. Definitely late. Harvey makes it 3-1. Boston University on an empty net goal with less than a minute left. 51.1. The penalty coming here for Penn State, so BU's going to the power play. If there was any opportunity of a comeback, it's over now. For sure. So a Boston power play. And BU, it looks like, will face Western Michigan. And Penn State with a rush the other way. Peters through the zone, loses control, just dumps it right back in. Back down low now here. Fink is taken back then as Dowiak waits. He'll dump it back into the zone behind the net. Final 30 seconds here to go. Picked up again then by Boston. Down the other way into the zone. A shot. It goes above the net and out of play as we get some pushing and shoving. As Penn State is starting to get pretty frustrated here. With a minute 25 left on the power play, 16.5 remaining in the period. This is Boston University's first Frozen Four national championship appearance since 2015, if that's correct. We sure? Am I sure about that? Is that 100%? Am I looking at that right? Damn. So, yeah, that's nail in the coffin for Penn State. Who had a good run. Look, you got to be honest. I mean, this is a team that was a club team 15 years ago. They're getting better. They're going to get to that point where they will get one eventually, but this year, just not it. And you're playing against a very good Boston University team. Just didn't work out. So, for the first time since 2015, Boston University will compete for a national championship as they take down Penn State 3-1. And they're heading to the national championship to take on Western Michigan, as one team will break a drought. And a heartbreaker there for Penn State. First national title game since 2015 for BU. They finally get it done. It's a very talented team. Cole Hudson. Well, that's it. Got to give props to Penn State for going on this. It's phenomenal, but suffered another loss here tonight. Not great. I mean, look, this team went from a team that started off, 7-9-1 at the beginning of the year. They play in that outdoor classic against Notre Dame. They take the win in overtime, and they go on just a remarkable run moving forward. And they beat Maine in the regional. They beat UConn in overtime to move on to their first Frozen Four ever. I think that shows that there is some legitimate growth here in Penn State with their hockey club and their program, and things are only going to get better. But, that'll do it for this live stream. Congratulations to Boston University. Don't want to take away from anything that they did. Again, you guys know that I'm a Penn State fan. This sucks, but I'm not taking anything away from BU. They had a very good tournament, very good run, and let's see if they can get it done against Western Michigan on Saturday. But that's it for me. Thank you all for watching or listening. I really do appreciate it. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow for another Watch With Nordic stream. So thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next